Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up.
Turbo Jesse.
Hey guys, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the best video games ever made. And believe it or not, this game came out over 5.5 years ago. I really can't believe it's been that long. I have played this game and replayed this game dozens of times, and it really just gets better every playthrough. But those initial memories, those first playthroughs, those first times you experience something, the wonder, the magic of the world, this Hyrule is simply just amazing. So in this video, I really just want to talk about some of my best memories from the first time I played Zelda Breath of the Wild. Hey, if you're new to my channel, I do a lot of trailer reactions. I talk about Zelda stuff, Nintendo stuff, and really all things gaming and, pop culture. So definitely think about subscribing and hit that like button so next time I go live with content, you get it right away. But right now, let's talk about some of my favorite memories from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So there's really no better place to start than at the beginning, and it was that initial time you played the Great Plateau. And I know I saw a lot of early previews of this game, early trailers, gameplay footage of the Great Plateau, so I figured I kind of knew what I was in for when I started this game, but boy was I mistaken. That first time you go over the cliff and you're with Zelda and you look over and you see the old man over there, it's just so much possibilities. It's like, hey, should I follow what this old man is telling me to do, or should I go my own way? And I'm a sucker, so I just listen to the game and I follow what the game tells me to do, and it basically just kind of tells you to go, go to the right a little bit, kind of go to the Temple of Time, see what's over there, fight a Bokoblin or two, and see what's going on. But I was really just exploring that whole Great Plateau until I ran into the stone Talis. And honestly, I was scared out of my pants. And you know what? I was scared shitless. And I tried to beat this guy by really just hiding, shooting some arrows at him, using a sword, and just getting killed over and over again. And you're so weak early in the game that really the stone Talis is a big threat. Later in the game you beat him 1, 2, 3, but at the beginning of the game, when you're first trying to learn the mechanics and learn how to play Zelda Breath of the Wild, he was really tough and really frightening. I mean, the stone Talis design is so awesome that you still have to figure it out. Alright, you figure out that dark spot's his weak spot. You have to kind of grapple on and hit him with the sword as much as you can, or stand back and try to hit him with the bow, and eventually you take him down. And that was the first time in this game where I really felt rewarded for beating a bad guy. And he's not even a boss, he's like a sub boss or a mini boss. But once you finally beat him, it just feels so good, because at the beginning of the game, as I said, you're just so freaking weak. And that's just a point in this game, and I know it was really early, that really stood out and really made a lasting impression. And I knew from that point on I was in for something sweet. I was in for something that's going to be memorable, and I was in for a video game that might change gaming for me personally forever, and it really did. Another lasting memory from Breath of the Wild is beating all the Bokoblin Camps. I remember how gratifying it felt beating a camp, and you get a chest, and inside the chest might be some arrows, might be a bow, might be a new sword, but just how gratifying it felt, how accomplished I felt every time I saw one of these Bokoblin Camps and I beat them. And it really turned out to be something I really look for. Look for these Bokoblin Camps, kind of eye them out, strategize how I was going to beat them. Am I going to go in gun blazing? Am I going to use my arrows? But just trying to take down all the Bokoblins just to see what this chest had to offer. And it's just such a good feeling when you hear that music and you see the chest open up and you're able to go and get your reward for beating this little camp. And they might not have been that challenging, but they were just super fun. And another lasting memory, something that really stuck through me the entire game, was whenever I saw these little camps, was really to beat all the enemies to see what this game could give me in these special chests. It was really just awesome. So after you get all the ruins for the Sheikah Slate, and you're feeling pretty powered, you go and speak to Impa, and you kind of get a few more ideas of where this game is going, but you're really left on your own from that point. You can go in any direction, but the game kind of guides you to the Zelda's Domain, and that's really where I went. And this game felt really good at the time, but it didn't really click for me. I didn't feel that oh my god, I need to keep playing. Up until that point, when I started heading towards Zelda Domain. And I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but there's a path that Prince Sidon tells you to take. It's like a road that sends you to Zora's Domain, and it's very challenging. There's a lot of bad guys on the way. This is one of the first times you really see the Moblins and the Lysophos, and you're kind of on this path. And there's so many bad guys. This is the first time I really kind of hit out in the weeds a little bit and strategized, used my bows to take out so many enemies, and really just had such a great time going on this road. I really felt like I was on a journey, like I was on a quest. Like I was really Link, and I had to do this and accomplish this mission because Prince Sidon told me to. And you'd meet up with Prince Sidon on the road, and he'd tell you to keep going, but there was a big threat in front of you. You'd have to beat some sort of bad guy, but just really keep going. And this is when the game really clicked for me, and I just got so into it, and I couldn't put it down. I remember it was already late at night, and I was like, oh, I need to finish, I need to go to sleep. But I just couldn't go to sleep until I got to Zora's Domain. And when you get to Zora's Domain, it is just so freaking beautiful. It was the first time I really felt like I was on this adventure with Link, and I accomplished something. It was just such a freaking great feeling. And just talking about Breath of the Wild, this is the first time in the entire game when you were actually given a mission that you had to get these electric arrows from a Lionel, and you see this Lionel, and you're like, alright, this isn't going to be that bad, and then he just wipes your ass. He destroys you. He knocks you out. This is the first time in a video game in a long time where I actually felt fear, where I tried to attack this guy time in, time out, and eventually I figured out on my own that I could just sneak around him and get all these electric arrows without having to actually kill him or defeat him, and it made me feel like so freaking smart. Many times I tried sneaking around him, but he would see me and just wipe my ass, destroy me so quickly. It was just so awesome that a video game could make you feel not only wonder, but fear and excitement, and get your blood pumping and get your heart racing. It was just so freaking amazing. I mean, this is still pretty early on in the game, the first handful of hours, and I've already felt like I accomplished so much. I love that feeling of going up to different towers and seeing shrines in the distance, knowing where I had to go, but being like, hey, I'm going to hit up this shrine first, I'm going to go to this camp next, I'm going to go to this town, and really in my mind setting like a to-do list. Alright, I have these 5 things I have to do. I remember putting the game down and still thinking like, oh yeah, I got to do those 4 things, or taking a little break and being like, alright, I'm going to hit up this shrine, then I'm going to go to that shrine, and then I'm going to go see if this divine beast, what that new excitement journey could take me. It's just a game that makes you want to keep playing, and that's really a sign of an unbelievable game. So many times I would start playing this game after work, eat some dinner, look up, and it would be 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be like, oh my god, I told myself I was going to stop playing at midnight, and all of a sudden it was 3 a.m., and I was like, oh, I gotta put this game down and get some sleep, or I'm going to be a mess the next day. That's just the power of a really great game that just really captivates your imagination and your excitement. I mean, these are just a few of my memories from Breath of the Wild, and this is really the first of maybe a series of memory videos I'm going to make, because Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time, and I have dozens of memories, but these were just the few that really stood out first. I mean, what I really want to know is, what are some of your favorite memories from Breath of the Wild? Is it the first time you realized that you could go shield surfing? Is it the first time you saw any of those dragons in the sky? Is it the first time you beat a divine beast and you got a reward? Let me know down in the comments section. I really am curious what your favorite memories from Zelda Breath of the Wild are. And be on the lookout for more Zelda videos. I'm going to do more reaction videos. I know the sequel to Breath of the Wild is right around the corner, so I'm going to be covering that game and talking about my theories, breaking down the trailers, all that fun stuff. So if you like Zelda, you like trailer reactions, any of that stuff, definitely think about subscribing, hitting that like button, so next time I go live with content, you get it right away. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name's Turbo Jesse, and I'll see you on the flip side.